Howdy y'all and welcome back. Rig Rundown. So this is a super short gear review of my battle belt and the Haley Micro that I used a couple of weeks ago at our annual training up in Fort Worth. So let's start with the belt. Day one was pistol, so I did not use the Micro. I wore just the belt and it was excellent. When you pony up and buy good shit, it pays off. Who knew, right? So, working, let's go this way around the belt. The Kiwis, the S-Tac Kiwis, did exactly what you want a mag pouch to do. Since it was a pistol only, I used the AR magazine portion and would run 2 extra magazines in it like that. So I had 4 magazines on me all the time. And then I'd actually put a 5th one like in a pocket. So never had any issue with running out of ammo. Pretty much everybody else had like 3 mags usually. So we'd have to stop and let people reload. So huge win. That's a little pro tip for you if you have an S-Tac 2+1. So that worked out great. I did not have the dump pouch on it. This is a brand new edition. Thank you again, Isaac. At this particular training, a dump pouch wouldn't have been totally necessary, but it also might not have hurt either. With pistols, you want to drop that mag and just let it hit the floor. So, and on day 2, the rifle training, I didn't wear a belt at all, so it wouldn't have really mattered there either. The high-speed gear reflex IFAC, didn't have to use anything out of it, so that's a win, right? But loaded up with what I have in it. There's a whole separate video on that. It worked great. Didn't notice it was there. It's not too heavy. It's not bulky. It didn't bounce around when I was running. It was great. The Safari Land. So I ran with the SLS and straight away, so Ron, our instructor, came over and the first handful of drills we were doing, I was punting, y'all. I was just leaving the hood forward and just using the thumb release. And he was like, if you brought a level 3, you got to use level 3, man. And I was like, yeah, you're right. So for most of the class, I was using the full level 3. And it's one of those things, I practiced it a bunch beforehand, and then I got kind of nervous, like, oh, am I going to screw it up? And I didn't. I didn't fumble the draw one single time. The whole time I was engaging the hood. Every single time it went perfectly, just like you'd want it to. It's one of those things, just make yourself practice it, and practice it, and practice it. And then when you need it to actually happen, it'll happen. We hope, right? But the whole G-code drop leg setup was great. Everything just sucked onto my body and stayed right where I wanted it to. This is the Wilder Tactical padded belt. Extremely similar to the high-speed gear one, which I flipped over to my homie Seamus, aka James. It seemed to work great for him. This one worked great for me. Again, if you're into this, check their sizing, because they're sized. They do their size gaps differently. So like this is the medium Wilder. The medium high-speed gear would actually be too big for me. So study those sizing before you go buy one. And the high-speed rigger's belt, it's a 1 3/4 rigger's belt with a Cobra buckle. That's so, but the total setup treated me right. I didn't get that like compressed hip feeling that sometimes you get from wearing a gun belt all day, where you're like, and you just want to take it off. Super, super comfortable. Didn't move around on me. We did lots of running and dynamic shit, and it was awesome. It would work great as a competition rig if I wanted to, or whatever. So again, buy good stuff and it will treat you right. So day 2, I didn't use a belt at all. I just wore the Haley rig. And I've got the high-speed gear straps on here, but straps are straps, whatever. I really enjoyed having freedom of not having a belt. I know a lot of people use a chest rig like with the concept that you draw your AR mag from the belt to reload, and then when you get a chance, you take a magazine out of your chest rig and put it onto the belt. Totally get that. Makes all the sense in the world. I just didn't want to wear a whole ass belt for the day, so I didn't. So I practiced drawing all day straight out of the chest rig, and then when I would have a moment, I would slide a full mag into the far left. So I'm always drawing from the far left pocket. But it worked great. There was kind of a mix of folks using belt rigs, chest rigs, whatever works, you know, draw it out of your pocket, whatever. But yeah, this did exactly what I wanted it to, and super comfortable. And like I said, I just enjoyed having that, not having shit hanging off of my waist all day. So if you're doing a rifle only, not a bad way to go. So comparing this to some like kind of Wish tier, like knockoffs of the Haley Micro, again, you get what you pay for. This was worth ponying up a little more. I got a buddy who has the lower end, like Wish tier kind of model, and already it's getting some, you know, just some stitching coming loose, and it's just, buy good stuff, y'all. That's what I'm really trying to say here. you, you don't have to be a snob, you don't have to be an elitist about, but you're gonna get what you pay for with gear. So that's the lesson of today. That's all I got, y'all. Thanks for tuning in. I got a whole bunch of stuff in the works, so going to be getting back to my regular flow of content. May was a little weird, and I might do a whole separate video on why. But until next time, be easy, y'all.